Good Friday morning. Today is Friday, November 10th, 2023, and this is your Friday safety meeting. My name is Dennis Davis. I work in the safety department. We're located in the Z building on the ground level, center of the room next to the pillar. So if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to give us a call or stop by. We'll promise we'll get you to the appropriate associate to get your question answered. We do this safety meeting 52 Fridays a year. And this is your meeting. We're absolutely transparent. We're open. We'll answer any questions that we have the answers to. If not, we'll punt and find somebody else that has the answers to it. We are live across the socials. So welcome to our folks that are listening in and watching on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And of course, welcome to our folks that are live with us here in Springfield, Pittston, and Salt Lake City, Utah. So at each of our locations, breakfast is free. So if you haven't ordered breakfast yet, jump in line. Looks like it's already jumping over here in Springfield, Missouri. Our talented folks under the direction of John Blanchett. I don't know why that name just slipped my mind that quick. Under the direction of John Blanchett at each of our locations and at our upcoming holiday parties, which we'll probably talk a little bit about today. Let's give those folks a round of applause at each of our locations. My coffee hadn't quite kicked in yet, but hey, this is going to be a fantastic meeting. It's Friday. I think most of us got paid. I hadn't quite checked yet. I'm crossing my fingers. You know, we work for a fantastic company, and we got some fantastic folks across the country that we're going to talk to. So let's go east first. I think we got Richard Brock and Rick Iford. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. It's Rick Iford. Richard Brock is down there with you guys somewhere.
You know, I feel like I saw him yesterday, so I guess that makes sense. But good morning, Rick. How are you today?
Good morning. Hey, I'm doing fine. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Great week this week we had. Great class.
Looks like a great class. Looks like you got a fantastic crowd up with you there today. I see you got your buddy Lisa over there to your right. Good morning, Lisa. Hope all is well. Rick, tell us what's new and interesting at the Piston Terminal.
We had, like I said before, we had a great class this week, and as you can see, there's a bunch of people here that got their vests this week, and they're ready to go down this pad and get started on their training to get their CDL license.
Fantastic. I see you got on short sleeves today, so it's probably not too cold. I know you guys had a little bit of a winter weather warning to the northeast of you earlier this week, but I think you guys are fine for the weekend, correct?
We are. It's been chilly. It's using the heater to come to work in the morning. You got the jacket out of the closet. So yeah, it's been a little chilly in the morning, but nice to go home in the afternoon when the sun's shining and not too bad.
Fantastic. Always good to hear from you guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to step to the microphone.
Thanks for having us.
All right, let's go west. My two good buddies, Tyler Patrick and Aaron Ward. Good morning to you folks out west.
Good morning, guys. We got a big team out here today. Things are going well in Salt Lake City. We woke up. It's been quite cool this week so far, but weather's moving in and things seem to be moving and shaking out here.
Well, that's fantastic. Hey, I was watching some past videos, and I just want to say that, from a competition standpoint, the folks that do I don't even know what you call this, foliage or whatever the case may be, they do a lot better job than your guys out there. Ours looks a lot better than yours, so take that with your noisy crowd this morning.
Okay, that's fine. We entertain the friendly competition, but no, me and Aaron have got a good team out here today. There's winter setting in, and I kind of sent Brianna a little bit of a picture yesterday. I'll see if she can kind of throw that up. Something I want to talk about real quick is just some of the things that we get ready for in the middle of winter. I was headed over to come to the amenities building yesterday, and I noticed this black mark from a truck bobtail spot. And essentially what's happened here is we've seen our first brake skid of the year here on the yard. So what this is, guys, is whenever you wake up, you want to make sure your tires are rolling with you as you move the truck. As we get into the cold weather, moisture gets in the brakes, and sometimes they can freeze up, and then you'll take off. The next thing you know, you're dragging one of those really expensive wide-base tires around the yard. So what kind of comes out of that is you'll get a flat spot. What flat spots do is, obviously we want our tires to be round as they roll. creates a lot of vibrations. Okay. And maybe you think, yeah, maybe it's a little bit of discomfort. It's not too bad. I'll just go ahead and head out. You know, some of the other things that come out of this are premature wheel bearing failure, premature wheel seal failure. You get all that vibration in that rear end now because that tire's bouncing up and down. You'll even cause premature tire wear. You can even potentially wear out your shocks as well. So something to be really cautious of as we kind of get into these colder weather months. Let's make sure that all of our tires are rolling before we take off in the morning. Sometimes it's good to throw a little mark or maybe just a pebble in the wheel so you can see if it's moving as you kind of progress forward. Nonetheless, something to definitely keep an eye out for. You don't want to be having expenses like this as we go into the holidays. So something I just wanted to cover real quick.
Fantastic information. Protect your equipment, protect your money, of course, you know. So this is not just a safety meeting. We're going to give you information all encompassing on how to be successful in your business. So thank you guys out in Salt Lake City. Thank you for the drop in. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to jump on the microphone.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
All right. Springfield, Missouri, good morning to you folks here. There's a little bit of energy in the room. You know, I love it. I love it. It's good to see some new folks here. I see some neon vests kind of scattered across the room. So I'll take this opportunity to say welcome to you. If you're new here to Prime at all three of our locations, if you would just take a quick moment to stand and allow us to recognize you and welcome you to the team. And of course, you know, we always see some familiar faces, and we always say welcome home. Thank you for being here, and hopefully, for whatever reason that you're here, you can get yourself out of here as quickly as you can to start generating some revenue for us, right, John? John's microphone's not on. So with me this morning is John Harden. John just was celebrated as a 20-year associate here at Prime. Good morning, John.
Good morning. I'm working now. I must have turned it off. So good morning. If you're new here with us, we appreciate you being here. Great crowds at all three locations this morning. So we haven't really had that in a little bit. So it's good to see everybody this morning. But, you know, I did want to feed off of what Dennis was just saying. If you're new to Prime, you know, this is a very transparent company. So if you have any questions, you know, to help your business, please ask them. Get familiar with your payroll person, your road assist associate, your fleet manager. Stop by and say hi to us. And as Dennis said, if we don't know the answer, we'll find somebody that does have the answer.
You know, you guys picked a really good time. Some folks would tell you you're crazy for getting into trucking at the precipice of winter weather, but you picked a fantastic time to come into the industry. If you're new to trucking, especially if you're from Florida, Georgia, you know, some of these southern states where maybe you've not only not ever driven in snow, but I think the last guy we got up here, he never even seen snow, just on TV. You know, so this will be a good opportunity to you know, for proverbial get your feet wet, you know, not physically in the snow, but, you know, get your experience up, because believe it or not, this winter weather comes every single year. I know you don't experience that every single year in the southern states, but across the Midwest, Northeast, and, you know, Western states, you know, we see this snow and ice and wintry mix every single year. I promise you it's going to be here this year, and I promise you it's going to be here next year and the year after that. So to be able to be with an experienced driver, to give you instructions, to help you through that process of learning, this is the perfect time for you guys to get into the industry. So
Absolutely. So you want to go through some numbers this week with our inspections. We had 136 total inspections, 3 warnings, 87 clean. So we had a pass rate of 64%. It's a great job. Give yourselves a round of applause for that. So we're going to hop into something real quick. You want to go right into the video this morning?
Sure. We've got a jam-packed meeting for you today, so we want to make sure that we have time for everybody to come up and get you the information. But we've got some information for you today, and I'll preface this by saying never does it behoove us in the trucking industry to show anything or present anything that tears down another company. That's not what our goal is in any of this, not any other company, any other driver. We think we're successful enough to live off the laurels of that. However, every once in a while, we come across a piece of footage that we think is important to share with our driver base as well as our in-house associates on, you know, in this situation, on what not to do. And I'll paint the picture for you because we're going to start it a little bit deeper into the video. But this is an over-the-road truck driver for another company. Unfortunately, we couldn't bleep out the name of the company, so you'll hear it. It is what it is. This video is on YouTube. This is no secret. But essentially, he gets dispatched on a load, and for whatever reason, the appointment changes. So they tell him to, hey, I know you just took a 10-hour break, but let's go ahead and take another 10-hour break, and then we need you to roll. And, you know, him just wanting to do the right thing, he does exactly what his fleet manager asked him to do, but lo and behold, it gets to nighttime. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure most of you are like this, but you can't just back to back turn the sleep on and off. So now that it's 20 hours later and he's rolling, he's tired. So he calls in and converses with multiple night dispatchers, and he finally gets to the supervisor, and he's trying to tell them that, hey, I'm fatigued, I'm tired, I'm falling asleep. And this is an example of what not to do. And we won't play the whole video, but we'll start it at the point where he's talking to the night supervisor. Go ahead, Brienne. What do you guys think of that? So, you know, if you weren't able to pick up on the audio of what that supervisor was telling this particular driver, again, he had already spoken to two particular night fleet managers, and he got to the supervisor and he told him, hey, you know, I'm tired. I understand that the load has to go. I understand we've got a tight appointment. I even understand that we don't even have any other options to get the load delivered. But the reality is I'm falling asleep driving. And, you know, that night supervisor tried really everything in the book. The first time I saw this, and we've had this in our rotation for many years now, but the first time I saw this, you would have thought it was staged of how, you know, thick that supervisor laid it on. He talked about your guarantee goes away. You're going to get a service failure. You get another one, we're going to fire you. You're not going to get a paycheck this week. You know, he talks about him being a failure. I mean, you couldn't have laid it on any more thick than what he did, you know, and that driver, in my opinion, did everything right and standing his ground and not being a victim and not letting someone force him to do something that he knew was unsafe. The one thing that I felt like he could have done to take it a step further was get his normal fleet manager on the line or get his safety director on the line. So here's what I'm telling you new folks. This is a perfect example of what not to do, okay, of what not to do, all right? And if somebody at Prime, whether it be your normal fleet manager, and I can guarantee you that won't happen, but if it's some, you know, maybe a new night person that maybe doesn't understand what his or her responsibility is, if it's 2 a.m., if it's 4 a.m., if it's 10 p.m., and you get this, I want you to call me. Don't let this happen to you. Don't be a victim. All right, don't let anyone, whether it be a trainer, a trainee, your wife, your fleet manager, make you drive while you're tired, okay? Does anybody have any questions about that? I want to make sure that we're perfectly clear on where we stand and what our expectations are in these situations. Are there any questions?
Isn't that when they try to force you to do something you don't want to do, and that's you can report that to DOT?
You could, yeah. All right. I'm glad we're perfectly clear on that. Go ahead.
You know, this had to do with sleep and being tired and the way the break's set up. You know, it was 10-hour break set up, but I also want to say, you know, we're going into winter, and this applies the same for driving in winter weather. You know, whether it's snow, ice, you've got freezing overnight, you know, bridges, overpasses, low areas, you know, it's the same. And for those that have been here, you're the captain of your ship. Doesn't matter if you're a lease operator, doesn't matter if you're a company driver, you make that decision. Jerry might be more comfortable than this gentleman here. It's got the yellow vest on, right? Because Jerry's been here for a long time. So everybody's got a different skill level. Everyone, we want you to be comfortable out there. If you don't feel it's safe to drive, get on the phone with your fleet manager. If it's a night fleet manager, get on the phone with them, let them know. And you really shouldn't get any pushback with that because we want you to make the right decision. We want you to err on the side of caution.
You know, this transitions to our next topic really easy. John was going to talk about this, but I'm going to steal it from him. You know, that was a video that was posted on YouTube, and it's probably been about 6 or 7 years ago. And now it seems like every single over-the-road truck driver has their own YouTube page, and some of you have 2 followers, and some of you have 200,000 followers, which is fine. I think it's great. It works as a fantastic recruiting tool for us. But, you know, what we do want to talk about is the right way to do it. And the reason I'm going to pick on you, because I see your tool here. Grab that. Is it taped to the table? Well, come on up here. Talk to me for a second. Your new, give the man a microphone, John. Jeez. Tell me your name.
My name is Devon.
Devon, I'm Dennis Davis. How you doing?
Great. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you there. Tell me what you got sitting there on the table. Webcam, like was it a GoPro type situation?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have your own following YouTube channel, all this good stuff?
No, I don't actually.
Are you capturing content right now?
Yes.
You might want to slide over a little bit and try to get right in the camera. So, you know, all right. So, you know, this is a 5-second opportunity for you to post your page and let people know where to follow you here real quick.
Follow me on YouTube at Devon.
All right.
I don't have a YouTube, by the way.
Okay. All right. Well, now for future content. All right. So talk to me about what your intentions are, what your goal is when you capture this type of video.
This type of video,
Yeah.
as in,
Any type of a video that you're capturing.
I guess, to create content and export it to a viewer.
All right. Well, good deal. Good deal. Well, hopefully this will be some good content for you. I'm trying to get you, trying to get you some clicks, some likes, this will be some really good content for you to post on your page. And do you plan on doing this throughout your training period?
No, sir.
Why not?
Honestly, social media is not my thing.
Okay. So you just for your own edification.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's just say, for example, you do plan on sharing this with the masses. You know, right now there's probably about 2 or 3 million people watching us live across the socials. And I know that's not your thing, but here we are right now. And I want to encourage you to continue to do that. You know, there's a lot of misinformation across the socials. I hope Prime don't want you to do that. It's free advertising for us. You know, we're confident that we do the right thing most of the time. We don't ever pretend to be perfect because we're not. We're people and people are flawed. So that means as a group, we are flawed. But we do everything we can to make sure that we try to do things the right way. All right.
Yes, sir.
And that's where this part of the conversation comes. We want you to capture that content and post it the right way. All right. Because the thing about any content that you record and post, once it's out there, it's out there. You can't take it back. You can't change your mind and say, oh, there was a misunderstanding. I misunderstood what John Doe or Jane Doe said. I misunderstood what they wanted me to do. Once it's out there, it's out there. Okay? So one thing I want you to do, well, let me start by this. Distracted driving is a big thing, and it's one of my pet peeves, okay? I'm perfectly okay with you capturing content, all right, and posting it. But especially while you're training, I want you to be 100% laser focused on learning the craft, okay?
Yes, sir.
So phone off in the pocket while instructor or trainer is giving you information, be laser focused. You know, I don't want you doing one of these type situations where you're trying to capture the conversation with the safety person or with your trainer or with your fleet manager. Be laser focused on the craft, okay? You know, as far as driving down the road and capturing content, I don't want to see that thing on your head, okay? And I don't want to see you giving commentary to the camera when you should be focused on what's going on around you in traffic, all right? Now, if you want to post it like you just did on the dash and record, I don't care. That's just another dash camera, essentially is what it is. And then later on, if you want to go and give it some voiceover afterwards and then post it, I encourage that. That's no different than 7-time Super Bowl winning quarterback Tom Brady reviewing some game footage, right?
There you go.
That's exactly what it is. We're 100% for. We encourage it. Tag me in it too. So I want to see it all. I love it. So tell me a little bit about you. Where are you from?
I'm originally from New York, but I live in, yeah. Shout out to everybody from New York, for real, for real.
All right, there you go. There you go.
I live in Georgia now.
All right. So how long have you lived in Georgia?
About 10 years,
When's the last time you drove in snow?
just last year.
Okay. Was there a lot of snow in Georgia last year?
Oh, no, it was when I was in New York visiting. my
Okay.
family.
All right.
Yeah.
So, back to your roots. You didn't see a little snow in your day, right?
Yeah.
All right. So are you comfortable driving a regular automobile in snow?
Oh, yes, sir.
People
I
from
drive
New
a
York
pickup
don't have
truck.
cars. So.
But I live in Westchester County, though.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's a
All
little
right.
different.
All
I
right.
drive a pickup truck.
Okay, well, good deal. So that means you are a little bit more comfortable driving in snow. And at some point, probably real soon, maybe even next week, you may be driving a big truck for the first time in snow. Okay.
Yes.
And John kind of hit it right hit the nail right on the head that Jerry over here been here a long time and may be experienced in driving in snow. But you, even though you're from New York and you've driven a pickup truck in snow, you may not feel 100% comfortable driving that big truck in any kind of inclement weather. All right.
Honestly, that's why I wanted to start trucking in the winter, though.
Man, you are thinking.
Yeah, honestly.
That's all right. That's all right. At any time that you feel uncomfortable, whether it's snow, ice, sleet, fog, sunny and 65, anytime you feel uncomfortable operating, get to a safe haven, communicate with trainer, fleet manager, whoever you need to communicate with, and we'll take it from there.
Yes, sir.
Is that a fair agreement?
Yes, sir.
We got a fair agreement on what to do with this footage?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Ron, I appreciate you coming up and being part of this meeting this morning.
Thank you.
Let's give him a round of applause. John, you took up all of our time.
I tend to do that, so I apologize. But, I think that this is important. Just hit on the highlights of what you said whenever you're capturing footage driving down the road. You said you don't want it strapped to your head,
Right?
you don't want it strapped to your chest,
Right?
you don't want live commentary real time.
Correct?
Mount it on the dash, record it. You get stopped later, take your 10-hour break, then you do the voiceover. That way you're 100% laser focused, right?
That's right. Post it, tag it. We love it. Free advertisement, good recruiting tool for us. Thank you so much. We got a comment over here. Is that Emily Plummer?
Yes.
Oh, everybody give her a round of applause. Just nominated for America's Road Team. But go ahead.
Hey, I got a question for you. So I'm starting to notice, I don't know if other drivers are noticing this as well. It's becoming a safety issue with all the cars driving throughout the terminal. I almost hit one this morning, and then a couple weeks ago, I was backing a trailer into the high value section. And as I was backing, a personal vehicle came behind me. Is there any way we can cut down on that personal car traffic? It's not the vendors. The vendors, they're driving slow, their flashers are on. It's all the personal cars that we're starting to see more and more of.
That's a good point, and was it a pickup truck,
This morning, that was an
John?
Maybe those accountants up there. I don't know.
So what we kid, but what you bring up, Emily, is a safety issue, and we paint a broad brush that we expect the same safety procedures out of our drivers as we do our in-house associates, especially when they get on this property or any property that's branded Prime Incorporated. We want them driving slow. Really, we don't want them out there doing anything. But I think Kevin's going to come up here and talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I just got a quick statement. I've seen some of the driving out there on our yard, and it's not 15 miles an hour like it's supposed to be. So I've already brought that up to a few people about some of their driving habits, and I'll continue to do that. Some of it, most of it, I'll say 95% of it is necessary. It is business-related personal vehicle movements and things, but I'll put an emphasis on that and continue to put an emphasis on that, Emily. Thank you.
I don't want to hit nobody.
No, exactly.
Absolutely. I think we got one. Kevin,
While
hold
you're
on.
up there, I brought this up before, and I'm seeing it's not being pushed with our yard jockeys, the shop guys, whoever drive the yard trucks at nighttime. I've seen a few guys on the phone talking while they're driving, but one of the biggest issues I have is, I've asked before about this, they're not connecting the power lines for the trailer lights.
Yep.
And they're still flying through there at nighttime. And some of the lights out there aren't working again because they're real dim. But we need to start having these guys put the trailer lights on so we can see them even when we're bobtailing, because we're forced to have our four-ways on like we're supposed to. As for safety issue, and they're not doing this, and they're still just hooking up and just pulling the trailer without putting that line on.
Agreed, 100%. I've only seen that happen once, but obviously you've seen it happen multiple times, and I've taken corrective action on that. I will put an emphasis on that as well and follow through with that. You got my word.
Thank you guys so much for those comments. Thank you, Kevin, for coming up and answering those questions. Hey, you know, so this week is Drowsy Driving Awareness Week. So we're going to bring Heather Minkoff up here from Cardinal Sleep to talk a little bit sleep apnea and some of the services she provides at Cardinal. So
Good morning. Good morning. Well, it's the National Sleep Foundation Drowsy Driving Prevention Week. So that was a great video to lead into this. But just some statistics for you, just to kind of explain, you know, how important it is. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says reported 100,000 police reported crashes last year related to drowsy driving. More than 40% of drivers admit to driving when they are drowsy, so that's a huge number. 50,000 people were injured in crashes that were related to drowsy driving. So it is a really important issue. Definitely important if you have been tested for sleep apnea and you have it and you're on CPAP. It's always important to make sure that you're using your therapy. But it's also important for everybody else, obviously. So it's a big topic. It's something that you definitely want to make sure that you're keeping track of. There are some things, they seem like common sense, but things that you notice when you are driving, if you are falling asleep, that's a big deal. You definitely want to pull over. But little things too, like if you're nodding and you're blinking, and you think, that's where I was at. Those are big indicators that you need to pull over for sure. So that's for everybody. As far as our services, that we do all the sleep apnea testing that you need done. And we get everything back in 24 hours. As far as replacement products, we have those available at all 3 terminals and can take care of any of your needs. And obviously, we want to help with any compliance issues that you have, but you got to call us and ask for some help, and we are happy to help with all those as well. So keep going. Hi.
You got anything else for us?
I mean, really, it's just basically bringing awareness to it. The video was great. Just kind of keeping an eye on everything and making sure that you realize that, it is important. And if you do notice those signs and symptoms, just pull over and get off the road.
Great information. Thank you for being with us here this morning.
Thank you.
Let's give it a round of applause. All right, we're going to move fast here because John took up all of our time a little bit earlier. 'Tis the season for thieves to be out. And normally we would talk about folks trying to poach your equipment, break into the back of your trailers, which that is a problem, but that's not what we're talking about today. Folks are trying to steal your money and your identity. So we're going to have Betsy and Chris from Advocates come on up and talk about some new requirements for LLCs and some of the dangers of people getting scammed based on that.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, so recently we have been made aware from the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network that they are adding new regulations to anyone with an LLC. Anyone has an LLC out there, whether it be trucking or anything else related, if you have a limited liability company, you, as of January 1st of 2024, are going to be required to do additional reporting. As we know right now, it's going to be a one-time reporting. There should be third parties available to do that reporting for you. What they are trying to do, they are trying to break down on money laundering for terrorist activities and other activities. So they're going to want things like your driver's license associated with you. They're going to ask for some additional documentation like your actual social security card, because really all you need to set up an LLC is you need to have a physical address, you need to have a registered agent, and then they just check your social security number and your name against the network. That's it. But they don't ask for actual documentation like your driver's license. Now, these type of businesses are under attack right now because with all of this coming out, scammers are taking an opportunity to say, hey, let's try to get something out there and let's fake like we're the government and we're going to try and steal your information. Okay? They're going to do that by trying to steal your identity, by putting malware on your devices when you scan that QR code or go to their website to make a payment or something like that. And it's kind of hard to tell. These scammers have gotten really, really good at making it look like an official document. Used to, you would look at a document, like if you see misspellings, if you see that their logo's a little off-putting, but now they look very realistic. But there are still some signs that you can tell if it's a scam. Like the recent one we had, it said $500 a day penalty if you don't file. That's kind of a red flag. There's not going to be something that's that extreme. But what we're here to tell you is we're here to help. So if you are not sure, don't take action. Don't scan that QR code. Don't go to that website. Don't mail them a check. If you believe this is not legitimate, and I would always lean on the side of caution, come to Abacus, ask your Prime Fleet Manager to get you in touch with us. We'll check to see if it's legitimate. If you are a client of ours, we will be giving you all the information you need to know that this reporting is legitimate when it comes due, okay? And then Chris, you've got some information too about just kind of our LLC process, registered agent services that we have.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about our registered agent services. So you're actually required to have a registered agent for your LLC. And a registered agent is a person or company that's designated to receive legal correspondence on behalf of an LLC. They relay important messages to the owner in a timely manner. This includes government, tax, and legal correspondence. As truck drivers, we know that it's difficult for you guys to obtain a registered agent for your LLC, so we're happy to provide that valuable service to you. Abacus is going to be sending out letters and emails for you to renew your registered agent service with us. If you're enrolled in auto renewal, you won't receive this correspondence. And that fee is due January 1st for that service. But again, if you're not enrolled in auto renewal, you need to make arrangements to make that payment by that date.
Has anyone out here received any kind of letters like that? Any questions related to this scam? Okay, well, just be on the lookout for it. If you do receive something and you're not sure, we'd ask that you don't take action, that you reach out to us at Abacus. We are the accountants upstairs, and I don't think we're the ones driving super fast in the parking lot, but that is an unsafe thing. So we want everyone to be safe. We want your financial, we want your personal identity to be safe. So please just take caution. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, thanks, Betsy. Thanks, Chris, for protecting us. We're going to keep it rolling here pretty quick. We're going to have Kobe Hughes come on up. He's from our driver health and fitness. We just kind of piggyback on some of the things that Heather said. Oh, Rachel's coming up too. Hey, Rachel, come on up.
Hey,
good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Hey, real quick. So my name's Colby, the driver health and fitness. This is Rachel. I want to talk about what Heather's talking about is like drowsy driving, things like that. Sometimes, obviously, the important thing is sleep, right? But sometimes what we're doing to help us get better sleep is the issue. So talk about CPAP machine and stuff, but we have a lot of things and resources we always talk about that are like, hey, how can you improve your sleep? Obviously getting yourself to bed, putting an environment, but sometimes it's things that lead to it. So it could be diet, could be exercise, could be an environment in which you've created. So we'll talk about it another time, but there are just so many intricate things to it that I'd encourage you to reach out to find ways to get better sleep. Obviously the CPAP machine would be one. But Rachel, you wanted to talk real quick about our salads, right? Like our
Yeah. So good morning, everyone. So if you are ever in the cafe here and you turn around and see the salad bar there's signs above that, and it kind of tells you how to build a salad that is a little bit more balanced and it will stick with you. Anyone ever had a salad and you're hungry 30 minutes later? Yeah, you don't want to have that kind of salad. You want to have a salad that will keep you full. It's going to give you all of the nutrition that you need. And those signs up there, they kind of show you how to build a salad that's a little bit more balanced and give you more of that nutrition. And salads are a great way to kind of help out, like fill your stomach up with more of the fiber and like vitamins and minerals and less of just the calorie dense calories. So it's a great way if you are trying to work on weight control.
Yep, and we have that at all three locations, right? Signage. We have a lot of signage here in Springfield, but Salt Lake, we got some now.
And then we're about to get it in Pittston.
That's right.
So,
Pittston will
yeah.
have some signage up. So last thing is I want to talk about is last week, our benefits fair, we kind of did some things. You guys saw us there. We saw a lot of you guys talking. It was great to see all of you. Some things we're trying to do, like we did a couple like A1C and we did some lipid panels with some of you. But one thing we never really talk about, and I've kind of seen a couple drivers today remind me is, like, as you go through this journey where I talk about like weight loss, or we talk about like, you know, if you want to get off a CPAP machine, those things, is that like things will change, right? So there's some complications that can come with like going through the journey of life and having successes or, you know, failures of things we try. But make sure we stay in touch with us. I mean, obviously we're here to listen, here to help you, but also getting in touch with your doctor. What we did, some of them, obviously I'm not a doctor, but we did some blood work and things like that for some people last week that, you know, maybe could be helpful that they could take to their doctor. Same thing, as you go through a journey, understand, like Rachel, when you talk to Rachel about nutrition and you talk to her and you've lost 40 pounds, guess what? Your nutritional demands will change, right? Or your exercise demands will change. So the same thing, make sure we're communicating with us or other people. I mean, Dennis would say the same thing. Like it's a journey we're going to be on. So there's some ups and downs, but we talk about other things, is even going down to talk to the doctor about like medications. Your medications will change if you go through these things. So just be transparent and talk to everybody as you go through this journey. I'll be down here during this meeting, obviously, but anything we can do to help, let us know. Okay. Yeah, we got a question. Sure. She wasn't ready for that.
Okay, you guys talk about salads all the time, and I love salads. Salads are awesome.
Stop right there. Perfect. No, I'm kidding.
But
okay, yeah.
there's a certain organ in your body that once it's removed, you can no longer have salads. It's a very bad day. Do you guys have like a substitute for salads?
Yeah, honestly, salad is just one, way to get non-starchy veggies. There's all kinds of different veggies on that bar that are not lettuce or not spinach, and things that can. I'm assuming you had like the gallbladder removal. Yeah, so that is a common trigger for a lot of people who've had gallbladder removal. So yeah, there's other options that you can do, and most of those on there, other than the salad and spinach, will work. So.
And that brings me up to another point, and Rachel, we can do this. We're always trying to create content. It's just education. We always take from our department. We want to give you as much information as possible to make the right decisions that you want to make for your journey. So maybe we need to create some content that's like, hey, if you have a resistance to lettuce or leafy greens, maybe these are some options. So we look for something like that. We may do that. So anything else? No, we got another question. I love it. Got a mic over there. And obviously Salt Lake Pittston, if you have a question, let us know. Sorry, I told you it'd be a second, but.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's not a question, it's just more like a suggestion to add on to what she had mentioned. For like leafy greens, you can get a juicer.
Juicing, is that what you said? I'm sorry.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
a juicer. I just purchased the Nama J2 juicer. I'm excited about it because trucking, I've gained some weight, so doing the juicing thing would be great,
I love it.
So thank
Sure.
you.
So that's a great plug. And I don't want to cut you off. Yeah, so she's talking about juicing, right? So that's a great thing. And we kind of do have some of our locations, we have juices and things like that, but you're right. Juicing, the only downfall would be the mess you can make, right? But you're right. I think blending is another good way to do it too. You still get the substances, but maybe it's a little easier way to do it. So love that point. So anything else? Great point.
Thank you guys.
Let us know what we can do to help.
All right, let's give them a round of applause. Colby and Rachel, I did actually notice the signs up there. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? And, fancy words of edamame or some stuff like that. So I had to do a little bit of Googling to figure out exactly what it was that you guys were suggesting that we eat. So thank you guys so much, and definitely use these services that are, available to all of you. You probably have heard that we're ramping up our recruiting to make sure that we are robust enough to take care of the freight that's coming our way. So we're going to bring up Heather from our recruiting department to talk a little bit about, what our efforts are and what could potentially be some of your efforts inside the walls to bring folks in and get a little bit of a bonus there.
Thank you. My name's Heather Merle. You probably have dealt with a Heather. There's 4 Heathers in recruiting. So I'm Heather Merle. If you need anything, reach out to me. So first of all, I want to talk about referrals. And I want to say thank you guys all for your hard work, showing up, and also thank you to our veterans. So referrals, we need people like you because obviously you were hired for a reason. We want, to duplicate that. So As far as the top referring driver last year, they made $115,000 in referrals alone. So how do you do that? Well, you guys are talking about social media, and that is a big deal. You can get your driver code out there. You can get with your recruiter, get a link specifically to apply with them. So if you refer a driver, your first load, you get $100, or their first load, you get $100. Then after they stay 30 days, you get another $500. And then once they stay 6 months, you get $500 again, and you get a quarter cent per mile for every mile they drive while working at Prime. And then if you do that 3 times, you get $1,000 for if you refer 3 drivers and they stay 6 months, you get another $1,000 bonus. So, real money, that's what we're here for, right? We need good drivers. If you're listening online and you're like, I don't know if I'll qualify, just apply. We'll try to reach out to you within the 24-hour period that you apply. If you have any issues with that, you can get with me directly. I'll be here after the meeting if you have any questions. And that's really it. If you're unsure, apply, because we definitely want drivers, and we want good drivers. If you're unsure of how to get your permit, call us. We definitely want to train you and have experienced drivers as well. Does anybody have any questions about that?
We got one over here.
I got one on the line. Have you heard anything about Florida? When will that be opened back up?
So Florida is flatbed and mostly teams. So we don't know when that's going to open back up. The realistic part of that is tons of freight goes into Florida, not a ton coming out, right? So we want to make it profitable for you guys and the company.
Question in Pittston.
Question in Pittston.
Oh, yes.
Hi, Heather. We have a question for you. Here in Pittston, we were informed this week that if you're a lease purchase operator or you purchase the lease, that you're not entitled to the referral bonus. Give us some clarity on that, because when we read it, it says ACE lease, AC, BC, DC, so on and so forth, and Pulling Prime's authority that you're entitled to it. But we've been informed this week that you're not if you're a lease purchase or a owner operator through lease purchase.
So if you're running under Prime's authority and you're giving out your driver code and you're an AC, then you should be getting that referral. Now I can check on that, but if you're running under Prime's authority, you should be getting that referral bonus. And if you're not, call us, because we want to make sure you guys are getting paid for, bringing people in.
All right. Any other questions for Heather?
Yeah.
We got one. Where is it? Right here. Let's find gentleman a microphone. I'm gonna switch.
What about if that person become a trainer? We will get that.
If your referral becomes a trainer.
Yeah.
So you're there's no additional bonus for that, but you're consistently still getting all the miles they run, right? So you get that quarter cent per mile for the entire time that they're here. So let's say you do that 4 times, that's a whole nother cent per mile for the drivers you referred that are driving here. So. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Let's give her a round of applause. All right. I think we have a really great meeting today. Any good trucking company, and there are plenty of good trucking companies out there. I just think that we are the best trucking company, and I'm biased, of course. We talked about making sure that you take care of yourself. We talk about, taking care of the equipment. We talked about, next we're going to talk about one of the other things that's always good from a company that you team up with is making sure that they have good benefits so you can take care of yourself. So I'm going to have Brandon Mallard from our HR department come on up, and he's going to talk a little bit about the benefits that we offer here at Prime.
Good morning. I asked Dennis if I could get up here again real quick today. Just wanted to get out in front of you, let you know, company drivers, that today is the last day of open enrollment. So this really is last call if you want to make changes to benefits for next year, or you want to enroll in benefits for next year. So you want to make sure you do that by the end of the day today, because it does cut off at that point. Independent contractors, you still have quite a bit of time. If you want to enroll in benefits or make changes to your benefits, you can reach out to Enrollment First through January 15th. So you do have quite a bit more time, but really more than anything, want to let company drivers know it is last call. Today is the last day. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Only because I've got a trainee with me, literally just got hired on. That will extend for anyone who's just recently hired.
Correct. Anybody that was just hired, you have a company driver, you have 90-day window to enroll in your company benefits. So it does not close down for you. You still have that 90-day window to enroll from your hire date. Absolutely. And if you guys have questions, reach out to me. We have Lee Macon over here by the microwave. If you're on site, she can enroll you. So we've got a lot of assistance for you. Okay. Oh, and Dave Brill is here as well for independent contractors, if you'd like to meet with him personally. All right. Good. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Brandon. Let's give him a round of applause.
All right, well, let's get through some maintenance here because we still have a couple of speakers here left. Saving the best for last, right? So we're going to go through some of our housekeeping items this week like we do every week. So we haven't talked a lot about the Prime mobile app, but everybody here should be on the Prime mobile app. It's a great tool. It's very handy. Remember the good old days whenever we were dispatching and we didn't have the Prime app? So anything you need can be pretty much done on the Prime app. If you have any questions while you're here at the terminal, please speak to the experts over here, Richard and Brianne. They can answer any questions you have. If you come by the safety department, we can fumble through it a little bit, but they truly are the experts. The next thing I wanted to mention is if anybody has any topics that they would like to hear in future Friday morning safety meetings, come see us after the meeting's over. We get a lot of great ideas from you guys. You guys are the ones out there on the road seeing what's going on. So please, if you have anything that you would like us to talk about, come see us after the meeting.
All right, I think my friend back here had a question about, go ahead and ask your question though.
Oh, you answered it for me, but I've been hearing a lot about there being a Georgia terminal at some point. And I know there's a lot of misinformation. Drivers just like to talk. So I just kind of wanted to hear it from you guys, what was going on with that.
So I'll hit on it real quick like I answered, but maybe when Wucky comes up here, he'll touch on that a little bit too. You know, it's no secret that we've been looking to expand to that southeast corridor somewhere in the Atlanta area. You know, nothing has been confirmed for as far as a purchase as of yet, but it's coming. And when it does, I promise you, Prime Incorporated, we're going to make a really big deal about it. So, all right. Anybody else got any questions? You know, another quick housekeeping tip or bit of information, you know, pardon our progress for the last however many months, but some of you may have noticed that the front entry there to the main building there, it's open and it looks fantastic. So let's give our team that designed it and did the work a fantastic round of applause. You know, I went into it for the first time the other day. It's a fantastic live screenshot of where every single Prime truck is across the country. You know, some fantastic artistry and work around it. I mean, it's better than I thought it was going to be, honestly, John.
It's impressive. I loved it. Great.
Yeah, so when that Atlanta terminal does come, you know, they've got some big shoes to fill. So, you know, we're gonna ask Steve Wucky, our Vice President of Sales and Marketing, to come on up here. But before we do that, and the reason I brought him up here, because today, well, not today, tomorrow is Veterans Day, and you knew that, right? And I brought him up here specifically because he served, all right?
I did.
And we are a company that we revere our folks that serve and defend our freedom, all right? So first and foremost to you, Mr. Wucky, thank you for your service.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, and I'm gonna ask every single driver in here, person in here that served our country in the armed forces, First thing I'm gonna say to you is Happy Veterans Day tomorrow.
Stand up, please.
Second, I'm gonna ask you to stand and allow us to properly honor you. At each of our terminals, stand and take your flowers. I'm a big believer in we give flowers to the folks. Keep standing, don't sit down, to the folks that deserve them while they're here. At each of our locations, we got a little special gift for you. John and I are wearing these Friday Red shirts. You know, if you serve, we're gonna give you a free shirt today. If you don't get your size, just trot on down to the company store at your particular terminal and pick up the proper size. But thank you guys so much for what you do. Your sacrifice, your family sacrifice does not go unnoticed. So let's give these folks at each of our terminals another round of applause.
You bet. Thank you. This gentleman served in the Marine Corps, and he wanted to make sure that Navy said happy birthday to the Marine Corps. 278 years. Happy birthday.
All right.
248 today. Happy
Thank you.
Marines. Cannot thank you enough. Thank you, Dennis. These safety meetings, they cover a lot of territory. And so you can kind of try to digest all the information, but let's not ever overlook the most important part of what this is about. Our highest calling is safety. It will always be safety. You know, this video of the driver and his fleet manager and all that garbage, look, we don't have a load so hot that it won't cool off in the ditch, and we don't need that. So if you feel like you're tired and you can't make it, just get secure, call your fleet manager, let them know what's going on, and get your rest, okay? That's just the way it is. We don't need to hurt you or the motoring public. So please take care of yourself out there. We've got our health and wellness people trying to explain to you that we do care about your health. We also know that a healthy driver is a safe driver. So take all that to heart, please. We really appreciate you. We've got the best operators in the country right here. What you do is day in and day out is just unbelievable. I was down in Florida this week with Nature Ripe. Anybody handle those Nature Ripe berries? Blueberries, strawberries? Yeah. Very good customer of ours. You all were selected Care of the Year. Thank you very much for what you do for Nature Ripe. And it's kind of an ongoing saga. We win a lot of those Care of the Year awards, and it is always about what you do. That on-time service makes a terrific difference. So thank you very much. Without customers, they really don't need us too much. So we're always thankful and grateful when we have a good customer come to Springfield to visit us. We have a great sales department. Ryan Harrington, why don't you come up real quick? Ryan works in our sales area, runs our intermodal as well, but sells over the road business. And Ryan's got a really nice customer here to chat with. So go ahead, Ryan.
Good morning. We have a fairly new customer here with us today. We've been shipping with Marzetti a little over 3 years, but have seen some really good growth. They ship, all over the country, 8 or 9 different locations, but the biggest one we ship out is Horse Cave, Kentucky, about 80 to 100 loads a week. So, this partnership's really started to grow. Steve was talking about service has been key. They're a high service customer, and the service you guys are providing is a big part of this growth that we have with them. So we appreciate that. I know they do as well. Their culture is really aligned with ours. Todd wanted to come here today to meet our operations, meet the drivers. They're really focused on shipper of choice. And, when we have somebody reach out with a complaint or anything, Todd's really, he gets involved, from the procurement side. So we're going to let him talk a little bit more about what they do in their company today, but we're just really happy to have him here. So Todd Irby, he's the Director of Transportation at Marzetti.
Yeah. Now, I tell you, here's something else I'm going to warn you about. You're going to have to listen fast because this cat, he talks fast. He's on Red Bull Special, and you served in the Armed Forces for us, so thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Go right ahead. Speak to our fleet.
Is this on? Oh, yeah. So the funny thing is I'm a talker, right? So to be fair to that, I'm a talker, and then they just give me a mic. But I'm going to start off with thanking you guys, right? Without you, I have nothing. And I'll just flat out say it. The other thing is that I do agree about the culture. So I am a veteran, and it was fun for me to learn that you guys had this today. We actually didn't plan that I was going to be in town while it's essentially Veterans Day. And then I will throw the Marine props because it is the Marine birthday and you have to remember that. So exactly. I've got a big text stream going on right now about what's going on today. So again, thanks everyone for that. And then ultimately, some of the things for me is that, you know, we were going over service numbers, but number one, it for me is safety, right? It's safety and service. As we get into this time of year, safety is so paramount for us. And then the key thing is that especially as a customer, the worst thing I can ever hear is that one of my loads was in an accident because the driver felt the needed to push it, right? So when you're out there, I actually start watching, you know, I watch the weather, and then I will watch trucks starting to shut down. And that's important to me, right? It's important that you guys shut down, that you stop early, and that you're not in the middle of it. So to me, safety is paramount. Service is key, right? I spend a lot of time talking to these folks about service, and you guys are killing it for me. Like yesterday's discussion, there was the topic was I have these ginormous service reports, and the key thing is that the service wasn't the topic. It was about growing the business, right? You guys have grown with us significantly over the last couple of years. There's nothing stopping us from continuing to grow with you. Service is there. You guys are phenomenal, and it's really been a key part of our partnership. And then back to this, like I love the shirt. So it's really important to me, and I appreciate everybody. Thank you. Oh, the business. Yeah. So our business is up. I failed to remember that, right? So we're up 8%. So I just actually this morning while we were having breakfast, went over some numbers with Scott, who's standing back here. But so our business is up. So our intention right now from a business side is our thing is execute to grow. So for folks that have actually serviced my facilities, you know, essentially our relationship with you guys has been, you know, we were in COVID. That was what it was. But we also did a massive upgrade to our systems and technology. So we spent last year actually working on that, and we just finished it in August. So when you really think about it, just as a company, we literally just had all these massive disruptions to the way that we work. So right now we are working through what are we going to become, right? So our business is up, top line's up, and our intention is to grow. So when we say execute to grow, that's volume, and that's more essentially more loads, right? So it's for us right now we're stabilizing ourselves. Hopefully you guys will feel it. But hopefully when you're visiting our sites, you're like, wow, these guys are better than they were 6 months ago, and that's with intention. So we will continue to grow, and we're going to continue to focus on growing the business with you guys.
Yeah, Todd, what's your product line? You want to share?
Oh, that's true too. So we make Chick-fil-A sauce, right? So the biggest Chick-fil-A is actually our largest customer. So to be fair to that, so we make Chick-fil-A sauce. If you're into stores, it's B-Dubs, right? So one of the big things that we've grown over the last couple of years is our licensed products. So that's, again, when you think about that top line growth, it's B-Dub sauce, it's Chick-fil-A, and a couple other key brands like Olive Garden. So that's been a key thing. Another nice product line that you guys haul is that New York frozen bread, right? So if you're down the frozen aisle, that big yellow box, that's a big seller for us as well.
Thank you. And here's the good news. We're not getting all of his business yet. So we have a good opportunity to keep growing. Yes?
It's true. That's true. I like to joke and say if we went through the list, I can easily come up with 5 million in opportunity for you guys. So yeah, absolutely.
Question there?
As a driver, I just want to say thank you for recognizing our safety side of ours being on the road. So thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. You know, you got your sidekick over here, Scott. He does the heavy lifting for you. But look, we really appreciate you investing your time in our company, coming out here and sharing more about what you do and the way you're measuring service, which I'm telling you, our folks love to compete. So we like you measuring what we're doing for you because we'll come out on top and we'll earn that additional volume. Okay, Todd?
You are killing it. To be fair to you guys are doing phenomenal for us. Yeah. And I really do appreciate that.
Thank you, Ryan. Good job, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Good deal.
Okay, so we got the guy that started this deal a few years ago. He was a Marine, served in the Marine Corps. So
Hey, Doug, I
Robert-
was a Marine, once a Marine,
always a Marine.
Semper Fi. Happy birthday, Marines.
Yes, happy
What
birthday.
else were we gonna say?
You got it.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Veterans Day, of course, the Marine Corps birthday goes without saying. Veterans Day is a special holiday where we reflect and remember those that have given the ultimate sacrifice to protect our country and our way of life and our prosperity. It's very appropriate to honor those folks that have served and to reflect on this special holiday. So I appreciate you all. You're great. We're running a little bit late here today. We have some folks in here that need to get back to their desk and get to work. You know what I'm saying? You drivers, I mean, it's up to you, but these office guys, they need to get to work. So I'll be brief here. Thank you very much. God bless each of you, and please be safe out there.